Hello, 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 and welcome. Welcome, Instagram. I have my friends on YouTube. We're looking at two different spots, and that is why. Welcome to the Become Your Dream Woman workshop series. This is a 5-part series that is designed to help you become this woman that you dream of. And why am I talking about this right now in this time? Well, first of all, hi, Britt. So nice to see you. I'm talking about this because you let me know in the chat on YouTube, on Instagram. Winter definitely makes me feel more, I have cravings increase. I want to sleep more, right? And then, of course, the past few years have made many of us feel blah and maybe anxious and overwhelmed. And my whole life has gone not feeling radiant. In fact, I was the girl who was wearing the baggy clothes. I grew up being the one that had acne. I had something called hyperhidrosis, meaning that I was so anxious that I would sweat through my clothing. So all I could wear was black, even though I hated the color pink anyways. Hi, Kyle. And it became something that when I would see women that were happy and vibrant, I would get very triggered. I would get very, just on the inside, I would just feel really triggered. And so I didn't know that it wasn't anything to do with them, but it had to do with my own lack of permission for giving myself the time and effort and energy to be radiant. And so I really want to, it's funny, we're going to talk a little bit about dating as well in that way. And as of course, as you know, I am by no means a dating coach at all, but our creation of being a dream woman, our radiance shows up in our dating life. It shows up in our work. It shows up in how we feel. And sometimes we can go a lifetime without feeling radiant and looking at other women as that they are, having their career and their love and their body, but not us. And so I'm here to help guide you into learning how to become your own dream woman, where you look in the mirror and you feel proud of yourself. You feel excited. You have this light that people can feel and see. So this is what we're going to be talking about over these free trainings. It's going to be from today until Monday. Okay. And so I have my notes. That's why if you see me looking down, I will be looking over at my notes. I welcome all questions, comments, live and during the replay after this. Okay. So becoming your dream woman. This first series is all about what are you no longer available for? Let me provide you with some context, and then I have some questions for you around this as well. So my lack of radiance really showed up in dating, as I mentioned. Again, I'm not giving any dating advice, not a dating expert, but it really was obvious now that I look back. I kept attracting situations where I felt really awful about myself. I would feel after I spent time not as beautiful, and I knew that I put up with behavior that was subpar, to be honest, men that were subpar, but that was because that was what I felt that I could receive in that moment. I was so disconnected from my own radiance, from my own power, my own essence, that I was willing to give love, receive love from whatever source that it came from, which was always felt depleting and sad, to be honest with you. And, so many women look and say, oh, it's men are like this, men are like that. But it's not men. It's women allowing this behavior. I allowed behavior such as last minute text. Are you available to hang out? Are you, or here, come all the way here. So I would be the one putting all the effort in. And I know I am not alone in that, right? So as women, we are the receivers. We receive, and of course, there is action that we take as well when it comes to romance, but we're not the ones that has to go and do the chasing. But when we're disconnected from our radiance, we are the ones who chase. I know that it's not just me that's been there. I hear it all the time with friends and clients. So when again we're disconnected from this power, whether it is, and I have a whole list here, but if we're disconnected from our power, essence, or radiance, then we're the ones chasing, and we accept this behavior. Okay, and I remember at one point I was in the gym, I was in the locker room and looking at another message, and it was a last minute, do you want to hang out message? And normally I would say, yes, yep, okay, I'll be right there. And I looked at my phone. I said, what am I doing here? Why am I allowing this behavior? Again, as women, we are the ones that allow behavior. It's not the guys. And so I remember staring at my phone and putting it away and saying to myself, no, I am no longer available for this kind of behavior. And I'm telling you, it felt like I was saying no to like a really addictive substance. It was crazy saying no to this kind of behavior. Felt like I was saying no to drugs. Maybe you've been here if you're dating someone and you're not really feeling great about the relationship, but you keep saying yes and you keep extending yourself over only to feel completely depleted after. Yes. Yes, exactly. And so in that moment, I said, no, I'm no longer available for this. And that's when things started to shift. I saw how available I was for so many behaviors that were so out of alignment. And again, it had nothing to do with the other person. And so, as your dream woman, I want to ask you, what are you no longer available for? Because on top of not being available for dating someone that was not good for my soul, that is on me, not on anyone else, right? And so I had to look at what else am I not available for? I was no longer available for skipping meals, right? Because that was just a lack of nourishment for myself. I was no longer available for not taking care of myself because so often I would say, okay, I'll do that later. It's work. I'll do that first. It's a priority. Or this person, that's a priority. So I no longer became available for this, for this behavior, for skipping meals, for not taking care of myself, for not working out, right? There's so many excuses that can come up. And I'm saying excuses, right? Because it's a reason to not do what we know is best for us. Truly. And I call anything like that an excuse. And I have been full of them. So don't worry. Okay. And so when I pulled back from that relationship, I had to realize I have to work on my own light. What fuels me as a woman? And I started to look at all of the ways that I was putting up with, again, behavior from myself. And so I'm just looking over here at my notes here. And I had to feel solid within myself. And that is the essence of a dream woman. This dream woman that is in your mind of you. It's looking at, well, what kind of behavior does she allow? What doesn't she? Because you know that a queen would not allow poor behavior from herself, let alone anyone else. Okay. And so some of the other things that I was not available for anymore was staying up really late. I would procrastinate on sleep. Right. And then I would eat breakfast late and then skip lunch because I was trying to lose weight and then eat so much at night and then feel so full. And that's a whole other conversation. And I talk about that in my upcoming Breaking Free from Binge Eating workshop. I was no longer available for social media accounts that made me feel bad, for following news channels. There were all these aspects of life that I realized I was putting up with. So let me ask you, what are you no longer available for? Maybe it's clothing that makes you feel frumpy. Maybe it's underwear or a bra that doesn't fit you anymore and it has a hole in it. Maybe you are unavailable for working for someone that does not see your value or working overtime. Or maybe it's no longer being available for friends that put you down. Everybody has their own version, their own flavor of this. And in order to become your own dream woman, you must be clear. You must have this clear. And when you start to build this, and the whole upcoming 4 other parts we're going to be doing over the next 4 days, you will no longer be triggered by women also who are beautiful and healthy and radiant. I know, again, as I mentioned in the beginning of this class, that was so triggering for me because I was so disconnected from who I wanted to be. Just going to make sure that I go over everything I wanted to here. So that's really it, right? No longer being available for whether it's clothing or food or thoughts or places, people that aren't supportive of the woman that you're becoming. And with that, and the other 4 parts we're going to talk about in the next 4 days, is how you begin to design your dream self, your dream woman, the woman that you are proud to be. So I want to conclude with a big thank you for tuning in to this live stream on YouTube, on Instagram. I will be live tomorrow at 12 p.m. Mountain Time, Friday. We'll do 9 a.m. on Saturday, 12 p.m. Sunday, 12 p.m. Monday to wrap up the series of Becoming Your Dream Woman. We're going to be going over detoxing and cleansing. We're going to be going over creating and curating, designing this dream life and this dream woman that you are. And we're going to be really looking at what else does it take to become the woman that you've always wanted to be. If this topic interests you, I have an upcoming workshop either live in Calgary or you can do online, and it's at the Light Cellar, and it's the Radiant Woman. This is vital, right? We're going to talk about herbs and foods and practices and masculine and feminine energy. And all of these principles will create also this dream woman, this radiant woman. And a radiant woman is a magnet to her desires, whether it's love, whether it's her career, whether it's a business she wants to create. I know for me, for years, because I was not feeling radiant, I was not doing this. I've wanted to do this for years, but I was not the woman I wanted to be yet. And I knew that there was missing pieces. So I'm teaching you everything I know in that workshop. So you can click the link in my bio if you're on Instagram. And if you're on YouTube, the description has the upcoming workshop. I want to thank you for spending this time with me live and on the replay. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. Look forward to hearing from you, and I look forward to seeing you for Cleanse and Detox Part 2 of Becoming Your Dream Woman tomorrow. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, everyone.